Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel, Berryjuicysweet Dishes. And if this is your first time, please hit that like button and also that bell right beside. And to all my returning viewers, welcome back. And to everyone, all positive vibes. Well, today I will be making a peach cobbler pound cake Twinkies. Let me show you how. Let's begin. So I'm going to take and soften 1 cup of unsalted butter in the microwave. Once I soften up my butter, I'm going to add about 2 cups of some stevia sugar. You can add any sweetener you like to your Twinkies. I'm going to add stevia to mine. And because of the sweetener, it takes a different form when mixing. So now I'm going to stir this up until it is light and fluffy. So once my sugar is light and fluffy, I'm going to add 4 large eggs. I'm going to add 1 at a time, and I'm going to beat it well as I go. And because of the sweetener, it makes the mixture become more clumpier. But however, that's fine, because before we add our dry ingredients, we will beat it until it's smooth. Next, I'm going to mix in 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And then I'm going to mix this together as well. And I want to get this smoother, so I'm going to break up those sugar lumps by using a hand mixer. So once I creamed my eggs, my butter, and my sugar, I'm going to go ahead and set that to the side. So I'm going to use 2 cups of some cake flour, or you can use 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of some baking powder. Next, I'm going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Then I'm going to stir this up together. So now I'm going to add the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients. I'm going to gradually add and stir. I'm going to also be using 1 cup of milk. I'm going to also add that gradually. I'm going to mix this until it is well combined and it is smooth. Okay, now I'm going to get my baking pan ready. So now I'm going to set that to the side, and I'm going to take my mold for my Twinkies, and then I'm going to grease my pan with some non-stick spray. I'm going to also go ahead and preheat my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and 170 degrees Celsius. So once I grease my pan, I'm going to begin filling my mold. I'm just filling them halfway up. So now I'm going to go ahead and place my Twinkies in the oven, and I'm going to bake them for 18 to 22 minutes or until a toothpick that I insert in the center comes out clean. So I'm going to use about 2 cups of some diced peaches, or you can use fresh peaches. So I'm not going to drain the juice from these peaches because this will be an important ingredient in this dish. Next, I'm going to use about 1/4 cup of sweetener. You can use any kind of sweetener that you prefer. However, either the swerve sugar or the monk fruit sugar is perfect while cooking and trying to dissolve your sugar. Next, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. I'm going to also add 1 tablespoon of water. Next, I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. So I'm going to stir this up until everything is well blended. So once I bring this mixture to a simmer, my sauce will begin to thicken. I also want to get my peaches a little tender, softer than they were in the can. So once my sauce has thickened and my peaches have softened, I'm going to go ahead and remove this from the stove, and I'm going to let this cool down. So in a glass bowl, I'm going to mix up 1 cup of some powdered sugar. Next, I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon of some vanilla extract. Next, I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons of milk. Now, choosing your milk, that depends on your desire for going inside of your ingredients. So you can use whole milk, you can use almond milk, whatever you desire for this dish. So now I'm going to stir this up until it's nice and creamy and well combined. All right. Now I'm going to set this to the side. So let's check on our mini pound cakes. All right. They're ready. Let's take them out and let them cool. So once my mini pound cakes cool down, I'm going to remove them. So what I want to do is create little cavities in the center so I can fill my pound cake with the filling, with the peach cobbler filling. So I'm going to use this knife. I'm just going to gently cut the center of it. I don't want to cut all the way through. I just want to move the top piece. I don't want to cut through the bottom. So I just want to remove this center piece. I want to cut a little further. You can be creative with this step and trying to fill your pound cake Twinkies. However, I'm going to just remove the top off of each one before I fill it. Also, you can pipe it with a piper bag, or you can just use a spoon. Because I just want to fill that center, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to close it back up with seal it back up with the top like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do all of these. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each individual pound cake. I'm going to remove that top, and then I'm going to stuff it with some of my filling, and then I'm going to place that top back over top of it. So I'm just going to trim a little bit off that top so that it will lay smoothly across the center of it. So it can fit perfectly. All right, and so I'm going to fill all of these up. So once I filled the cavities of my pound cake, I'm going to take that icing and I'm just going to drizzle some on the top of each one. Well, thank you everyone for joining. Don't forget to hit that like button and also share the video. Again, everyone, thank you for tuning in to my channel, Berry Juicy Sweet Dishes. Well, bye for now.